In this video, we will show you how to install your WD Electronics turn signal kit for a 2019 to 2024 RZR Pro XP, RZR Turbo R, or RZR Pro R. A RZR Pro XP is used for this video. Remove the two T40 bolts in the center hood panel. Slide the panel back to release the alignment tabs at the front edge. Set the panel aside. Remove the three plastic trim panels from the dashboard. There is one panel located on each side of the instrument cluster. And another panel under the passenger's side storage compartment. The panels are held in with clips that can be carefully popped out. Remove the two T40 bolts located underneath the center hood panel you previously removed. Remove the two T40 bolts above the lighting and drive mode switches. The T40 bolt directly behind the instrument cluster, and the bolt on the right side of the steering wheel above the key cylinder. Remove the three T40 bolts on the passenger's side of the dash below the storage compartment. Open the lid for the passenger's side storage compartment and remove the four small torque screws. Remove the two plastic push pins located under the center hood panel. This will allow you to unclip the front edge of the dashboard from both of the side panels in order to release it. Carefully remove the dashboard of the machine. We include three options to mount the turn signal lever to the steering column, depending on the model and trim of your machine. Please refer to Step 2 of your instruction manual to select the correct option for your steering column. Your installation may be slightly different depending on your machine's steering column. Remove the pre-attached black clamp from the turn signal switch. Attach the small L-shaped bracket to the turn signal switch in the orientation shown. Hold the mounting bracket up to the factory bracket on the left side of the steering wheel and use the two hex bolts to attach the switch to the factory bracket. Feed the turn signal lever wiring underneath the dashboard, following the factory wiring. On the driver's side firewall, under the dash, there is a flat spot with two plastic tabs. Carefully trim off the tab closest to the outside of the machine using a razor blade. This will create a flat spot to mount the control module. Locate the power cable for the control module. It has a Polaris pulse connector on one side and two bullet connectors on the other. Connect the bullet connectors to the two mating connectors on the right side of the control module. Make sure that the colors match and that the plastic insulation is fully covering each connection. Install two of the included 3M adhesive squares to the bottom of the control module. Remove the paper backing and stick the control module to the firewall. Use the two self-tapping screws to secure the control module to the firewall. Verify there is nothing that can be damaged on the other side of the firewall before installing the screws. Locate the long cable covered in black wire loom on the control module. Route it to the connector for the turn signal switch and connect them together. Make sure the connectors snap together fully. If you purchased the optional hazard switch harness, choose a slot in your desired location and pop out the cover. Install the whole harness through the slot and clip it into place. Locate the harness behind the panel and route it to the connection for the turn signal switch. Disconnect the turn signal switch connection by lifting the locking tab and sliding the connectors free. Insert the two connectors on the hazard switch harness in line with the connections for the turn signal switch and control module. Verify that everything clips into place fully and secure the wires away from any moving components. Remove the grill by depressing the two locking tabs on the top edge and sliding it free. Remove the 3 Torx fasteners from the fender on both sides of the machine. This will give you better access to the headlight mounting screws. We recommend installing the replacement headlights on one side at a time so you can reference the mounting points on the other side when reassembling. Remove the 3 Torx headlight mounting screws and springs from the mounting points. One is accessed through the grill opening, and 2 can be accessed in the wheel well. Disconnect the factory headlight harness by lifting the locking tab and sliding the connector free. With the 3 fasteners removed, carefully remove the headlight housing from the machine. Transfer the rubber bushing from the metal sleeve over from the factory headlight to the WD headlight housing. Install the new headlight into place as shown. Reinstall the springs and Torx bolts into the factory locations. Once the headlight is installed, reconnect the factory headlight harness to the housing. Repeat the installation on the other side of the machine. Connect the 4-pin headlight harness to the mating connector on the control module. Route the other end with the 2 bullet connectors across the firewall and through the rubber firewall grommet on the right of the pulse accessory bar. Once through the grommet, split the two halves of the cable. Route the black wire, following factory wiring as closely as possible, to the passenger's side headlight, and connect it to the mating connector on the red wire coming out of the housing. Route the red wire labeled driver's side, following factory wiring across the machine to the driver's side headlight. Connect it to the mating connector on the red wire coming out of the headlight housing. Verify that the plastic insulation is fully covering each connection, and secure the wiring away from any hot or moving components with the included zip ties. Locate the factory 10-pin connection. It is located on the driver's side frame under the cargo area on Pro XP and Turbo R models, and on the passenger side frame on Pro R models. Disconnect the connectors by lifting the locking tab. Remove the zip tie holding the wiring from the frame and install the WD adapter in line with the factory connectors. Pro R models will need to install an extra 4-pin adapter in line with the driver's taillight. Refer to Step 5B of your instruction manual. For 4-seat models, remove the rear seat backs by depressing the lock near each headrest. Remove the 3 bolts on the driver's side of the rear center console panel in the locations shown. Next, remove the 2 plastic push pins as shown. Remove the 3 bolts and 2 plastic push pins in the same locations on the passenger side of the panel. Remove the 2 T40 fasteners from the back lip of the panel as shown. Flip both seat bottoms down and remove the 4 T40 bolts, 2 on each side. Remove the trim panel near the accessory power outlet. Carefully remove the panel and set it aside. Remove the 4 bolts from the bottom edge of the driver's side center panel in the locations shown. Remove the 3 bolts along the bottom lip of the driver's side panel between the driver's seat and the panel. Remove the cup holder insert. Remove the plastic clip from the rear of the panel near the cup holders. Remove the T40 bolt from the top corner of the panel below the key cylinder. Remove the plastic clip near the main wiring harness in the center as shown. There is one more plastic clip underneath the fuse panel. Remove the cover from the fuse panel and remove the 2 bolts holding it in place. Carefully move the fuse panel aside and remove the plastic pushpin. Carefully remove the side panel. Be sure to disconnect the wiring for the small accent LED. Locate the large black cable with the red, black, and white inner wires and the 3-pin connector. Connect the 3-pin connector to the mating connector on the control module. Route the other end of the cable down and towards the center of the machine. Follow the factory wiring harness wrapped in tape as closely as possible down the center tunnel of the machine. When you reach the rear seats, continue feeding the cable all the way back until the cable can be located behind the rear firewall. Continue routing the black cable following the factory wiring for the taillights above the clutch cover until you reach the 10-pin taillight adapter. This will be on the driver's side on Pro XP and Turbo R models, and to the passenger side for Pro R models. For Pro XP and Turbo R models, connect all 3 bullet connectors on the long black cable to the mating connections on the inline adapter. The red wire can only connect in one location. The black and white wires can connect in either of the remaining 2 connections. The black and white connections can be reversed later if your rear signals are flashing on the wrong side. Make sure the plastic insulation is fully covering each connection. Zip tie the black cable in place along the factory harness. Secure any excess length of cable inside the center tunnel. Choose your desired location for your horn rocker switch and remove the plastic cover. Install the whole harness through the slot and clip the rocker switch into place. Locate the black and blue 2-pin connector on the back side and route it toward the control module. Connect it to the connector on the control module with the matching blue clip. Route the other wire with the red and black spade connections through the rubber grommet in the firewall and locate them on the other side. Reinstall the dash panel into place. Install the included bracket to the stud on the horn housing using the gold nut. Install the other end of the bracket on an existing fastener under the hood or fender. Our recommended location uses one of the front bolts for the dash panel. Install the end of the mounting bracket in between the panel and the U-clip. Install the bolt through the bracket and tighten it down. Route the black and red spade connectors on the horn harness and connect them to the horn housing in either direction. They are reversible. Now, we will install the license plate bracket. You may mount the included bracket however you like. Our recommended location is shown directly under the taillight. Use the bracket as a template to mark your holes. Mount the bracket as far forward as you can to ensure you do not contact the taillight housing. Drill out 2 holes and use the included nuts and bolts to secure the bracket in place. Trim a small 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch tab out of your license plate for the wiring harness to pass through. Bend the tab over flat or cut it off. Install your license plate into the LED frame and line up the holes with the mounting bracket. Use the small black nuts and bolts to secure the 3 components together. Locate the power cable in your license plate kit. Connect the 2-pin connector with the blue clip to the mating connector on your 10-pin taillight adapter. Route the other end with the 2 bullet connectors to the LED frame and connect them matching the colors. Verify the plastic insulation fully covers each connection and secure the wiring with zip ties. Use the special zip tie shown and install it into the hole on the frame for the 10-pin connector. Use it to secure the taillight adapter to the frame. Locate the dash indicator harness with the 4-pin connector on one end and the 2 exposed pins on the other. We recommend disconnecting your battery before continuing with the dash indicator installation to minimize the risk of blowing fuses. Disconnect the large gray connector from the instrument cluster by depressing the locking tab and sliding it out. Remove the clear gray cover from the connector by depressing the white locking tab on each side of the connector and sliding it free. Open the back of the cover by separating the 2 halves. Remove the 2 blue pins from slots 6 and 7 by sliding them out from the back. Insert the 2 pins on the harness. The black wire will be inserted into slot 6, and the red wire will be inserted into slot 7. Verify that all the ends of the pins are lined up evenly, and reinstall the clear gray cover, making sure it clips into place. Close the back of the connector by snapping the 2 halves together and reinstall it into your instrument cluster. Route the 4-pin connector to the control module and connect it to the mating connector. Now that all the wiring harnesses have been connected, the control module can be connected to accessory power. Route the end of the power cable to the pulse bar in the center of the machine. Remove a dust cap from the pulse bar by lifting the 2 wings on the cap and connect the power cable. Secure the wiring with zip ties. Now it's time to test your signals and reassemble. To ask us installation-related questions or to order a premium turn signal kit, please visit wdelectronics.com.